Let me know if you all can hear me now. Let me know if you all can hear me now. This is ridiculous. We gotta jump through all these hoops. Let me see. I should be live now, and the family should be able to hear me now. This is crazy, man. Let's see. Who is this? Man, I don't want to hear nothing you got to say, man. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Man, they trying hard to not let your boy speak. Testing, 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 1, 2. Hear all about it, don't know about you. Testing. Thank you, J Mike in the building. They say that I am heard loud and clear. Salute Ratchet since 91 in the building. We are back. So I know I can't go live on my trap phone anymore. Got to use the laptop. But that's all right. So come on in, family. I'm going to give my other people time to come on in. I got to say everything I said before. Salute to the family. Salute to all my comrades. It's always smoke to the COINTELPRO Pro Boxing fans. I want to give a shout out to Dr. Cameron Fields. I was telling my sister, Dr. Cameron Fields, who probably couldn't hear me, I'll wait till I see her in the chat. Salute Black Jericho in the building. We are here and it's popping. It is popping. Let's get it started. As you all can see this morning, I had to go and get some more. I had to go get some more noodles because all the old was taken out. So I went to the dollar store. Y'all know what this is for, right? Y'all know what that's for, okay? Now this, let me tell you about this bad boy here. For my young brothers and sisters in the sport, you might not be familiar. I want to show you something. You see this bad boy? See, we're not gonna cut this one. This is going to be used as our long stick. And what is the long stick for, Coach? Salute Trey Titan in the building. I'm going to show y'all what the long stick's used for. What's the long stick, Coach? Why you call it the long stick? All right, so an old head from Cuba taught me this. Turn that down a little bit. An old head from Cuba taught me this. You see, back in the day, we didn't have a bunch of fancy equipment like we have now. So we had to make do with what we had, right? So we would take something like a broom or a mop stick, okay? And we would put cushion around it. Right? So this is the cushion. Okay? This is your long stick. Okay? Put a little cushion around that bad boy. So you can use it for that and a broom if you need be. Oh, man, I already got one right here. Hold on, family. I'm about to do a whole lot of work I don't need to do. I got one right here. Let me show you. So please let the family know that we are live. My brother Black Jericho was able to hop right over. We might have lost my sister, Dr. Cameron Fields, but I wanted to let Dr. Cameron Fields know I haven't forgot about what I'm supposed to send you. I've been so busy in this gym every day. It's a bunch of emails I know I need to answer. If anybody has the sister Sugar Free Mars email, her contact, I lost her email clearing out my Gmail and Yahoo. Okay, I still got Drew's. I got Stormy B-Mans. I got Black Jericho. I need yours too. Black Jericho, I need yours too. I got Trail Wheels. I need Black Jericho and Sugar Free Mars. I need you all's contact, your emails. Send them to me so I can hit you all back because I know both of you actually tried to reach out to me and I miss you all's emails. But let me show you all what this bad boy looks like. You see this here? You can do a lot of work with this bad boy. Okay, take a little mop stick, take a little broomstick, and you use this for several different reasons. Okay, now let's get into this little lesson today. I'm only going to be live for about 45 minutes, might even be 30. Okay, my brother Delano asked me a great question. He said, Coach, could you break down the differences between the guards that they keep mistaking the wrong way to use it? And we got to talking about some of the grand masters of the sport of boxing. We started speaking on the legendary Eddie Futch. We started speaking about the legendary Jack Blackburn. We started speaking about the legendary George Benton. Okay. We started speaking about Joe Louis. So for you young folks that want to learn something about some real boxing, there is a book on Amazon. It's only about $9. The book is called How to Box by Joe Louis. All right. It is the first book of its kind to be written by a world champion fighter. It was the first one. I believe it was published in the early 1960s, but you can buy that book off of Amazon for about $9. It's a great book to read. Now, I learned this. We talked about yesterday, coaches needing to get better and improve the same way fighters need to do the same thing, right? So you have some coaches who are just good at footwork. You have some coaches who are just good at offense, et cetera, et cetera. Well, when I was coming up in my late 20s, there was an older Cuban gentleman who I saw. He was having the person shadow box, but while they were shadow boxing, they had a pole in between their legs like this, okay? And while they were in their stance, he was moving to the side, moving this way, right? To keep the person in the right stance. He was showing that with the right foot placement, you can control your opponent. So I adopted that method and I started using the same thing. Not only that, you can take this same pole and you can show your fighter how to slip off the line, like so. How to roll, okay? This is why this is so great. Nothing fancy, just a good old broomstick, mop stick. These are the lessons. These are some of the legendary things. My brother, some of my martial arts brothers on my channel, we have these discussions every now and then. My brother, Black Jericho, my brother, Black Martial Arts Society. We've had these discussions about some things we're not going to put on YouTube. Some things that we teach our young are not supposed to be taught to the world, because as a tribe, it would be very ignorant of you to show other tribes all of your secrets and tricks of the trade. So we have our noodles, right? You got your short noodles, you got your long noodles. Now let's talk some boxing talk for a second. Now, you see people using these noodles, using these projectiles to teach their fighters. Ask yourself a question. Well, who started that? Where did this come from? You can follow some of these methods all the way back to the Zulu. You can trace some of these methods following back all the way to Rome and Greece. You can follow some of these teachings all the way back to the ancient ruins in Brazil and certain parts of Asia. But what we know for a fact is there was a man by the name of Jack Blackburn. When he was training Joe Louis, instead of using a noodle with a broomstick, he was using a brick in his other hand. That is a fact, okay? So when people try to tell us, because the name of this live is Floyd Mayweather is not the master of the Philly shell. But who? Who is the master of the Philly shell? Why is there an aggressive attack to try to get certain fighters in America to fight different and be shunned from using what we call the Philly shell? This is what we're going to go over briefly. And we have some good documentaries on YouTube. It was one I was going to share with you all, but we had some technical difficulties this morning. See, there's my brother. Black Martial Arts Society is in the building right now as we speak. So we're going to place some of these to the side. I'm going to be using these today. All that good stuff. Bought a little. I might need to cut that one too. I'm gonna keep this here for later, just in case. All right. Who we got in the building? My brother Andrew 100 in the building. George Benton, even Archie Moore utilized the Philly shell. That's good teaching right there. My brother Andrew 100 is in the building. You see, we have real students of the game of boxing. Okay, the game of boxing. You are not a master. You are not a master anything in the sport of boxing until you have paid your dues. That means you either have fighters up under you who have gained greatness, whether they're amateur or pro. You have made your stamp somewhere in a boxing gym. You have made your stamp somewhere in this industry and have a lifelong thing of work. Until you have a lifelong journey of work in the sport of boxing, you are not a master of this. So, George Benton is a master. Eddie Futch was a master. Angelo Dundee was a master. McGritt was a master. Let's talk about it. Virgil Hunter, whether you like it or not, is a master. Roger Mayweather Sr. was a master. Now, let's talk about George Benton for a second. They have some great brief videos on George Benton on YouTube. But if you just get some of these books, if you want to keep a secret from somebody, what do they say? They say, put it in the book. Salute Christina in the building. All right. That's what they used to say. You want a secret? Put it in the book. So they have a book, again, from one of the best boxing channels when it comes to just straight science. He's not talking about the crap that we're dealing with in the socio politics. He's talking about just straight science. There's a man by the name of Boxing Life. He has a channel on YouTube called Boxing Life, and he has a video titled The Professor, George Benton, the original Philly shell master. Okay. He also has some shorts on here. George Benton shoulder roll defense. Let's see what one of these shorts say. So we'll get here with copyright.
Many fans would credit Floyd Mayweather as being the master of the shoulder roll technique. The reality is that it was developed and evolved by many fighters decades before he was even born. One of the earliest and most skilled practitioners was
amazing. I didn't even know that this man was going to say this. As soon as the video starts, he says, many fighters, many casual boxing fans crown Floyd Mayweather as the master of the shoulder roll, or even the practitioner of the shoulder roll for those who are casual and really have no idea. Yeah, Black Jericho, they do sleep on Virgil, but you know that's another topic for another day. The disrespect of our greats. We have to recondition. I promise y'all, Coach ain't about to start preaching. I'm gonna stick with this, but I gotta say this. We have to recondition the mind of the black boxing fan base or black boxing supporters, because we hold our own to a critique that we hold nobody else to. Watch this. I'm going to show you. I'll make it so plain. Watch this. Robert Garcia has trained many champions. That is a fact. Now, would you say it is true or false to admit that most of his greatest prodigies have lost to an elite black fighter? Let's go. Come on. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's make it plain. That's why I am the coach of the truth tellers. I have to say that which you are afraid to say or which you do not realize needs to be said. Would you say that most of his greatest fighters lost to an elite black fighter? That is true. But watch this. Have you ever heard any of our people or any of his own people say Robert Garcia is not a good trainer because this person up under him got beat so bad. Have you ever heard people say Robert Garcia needs to stop training after Errol Spence washed Mikey Garcia? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. See, they don't like this. You only have selective outrage. I just seen on TikTok one of these gangster rappers was approached by a bigot who was calling him boy and MFer and all that, and he had no smoke for him. But if it would have been one of his own, you know that there would have been a shootout. You are selective in your outrage. So you disrespect. You might say, well, coach, what does this have to do with this? What I'm telling you is you disrespect the Bomax. You disrespect the Virgil Hunters. You even disrespect the Emmanuel Stewarts in his legacy. You disrespect what's the brother's name? The brother that was in Tank's corner when Tank fought Lamont Roach. You all disrespect brothers who have put in almost a lifetime of work in the sport of boxing while holding nobody else to that critique. Brian Norman Jr. has not the greatest advice given in the corner, and you drag the Brian Norman Sr. Fine, but Teofimo Lopez Sr. gives even worse advice, and nothing at all is said. We have to stop doing that. But let's keep going with what the gentleman is saying. And unfortunately, here's another problem I have. Family, we have to have this conversation and we have to be truthful with each other. Why is it taken? Listen to me. Some of the biggest boxing science channels on YouTube, a lot of them are Caucasian men keeping it alive. You can't get mad at them if they see that the lessons in this science is something that needs to keep being told. And a lot of our channels are focusing on the self-hate and tearing down of our own fighters and legacy. What's that about? But maybe that's a lot for another time. We're sticking to the Philly show today. Let me let this gentleman keep speaking. Coach, I done messed something up. I done messed it up, y'all. What did I do wrong?
While many fans would credit Floyd Mayweather as being the master of the shoulder roll technique, the reality is that it was developed and evolved by many fighters decades before he was even born. One of the earliest and most skilled practitioners was George Benton. Known as the Professor, Benton used the shoulder roll with a level of precision and intelligence that set him apart from his peers. He would turn his left shoulder inward to deflect right hands, rolling with the punch rather than absorbing it, while keeping his chin tucked and eyes locked onto his opponent. His right hand was always ready to counter, often with a short, accurate uppercut or a straight right over the top. He later went on to become a highly successful trainer, with his most notable champion being Pernell Whitaker, another fighter who was known for his masterful defensive skills. Long before the technique became mainstream, Benton had already mastered the science behind the shoulder roll, and although he's become somewhat forgotten over time, he was an excellent fighter, a true legend. While many fans would credit Floyd Mayweather.
Beautiful teaching. Now, who do they compare? When Floyd was coming up, who do they used to compare Floyd to and say, well, is he as good as such and such as defense? Who do they use, fam? Let's go to school. Let's go to school and talk about it. What fighter did they compare Floyd to when it came to defense when he was coming up through the ranks? What fighter? The man, I give you a hint. The man said his name in the video. What fighter did they compare? Thank you, Black Jericho. They compared him to Sweet Pea Pernell Whitaker. Who was Pernell Whitaker trained by. Who taught Pernell Whitaker how to move like that? George Benton. Okay. Now, my brother Delano asked me, he said, Coach, thank you, Black Martial Arts Society. He said, Coach, explain how these guards are not being used right. Explain the misconception. Explain the false narratives. And I told my brother Delano that I would, and I ran out of time yesterday when I was going over it because one of my fighters who I trained about, shoot, it's crazy to say this, about 4 years ago now. He's in college now. What is this? Oh, okay. Came by I had to get off because I had to speak to the young man who I have not seen in years. I will put this together later, family, because this right here, I'm gonna have to pay attention. It came with instructions. Uh-huh. 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 All right. Right. I don't need no instructions. I'm a man. I don't need no instructions. I'm a man. Put that together later. But check this out, fam. Check me out. So, here are a few misconceptions. Here's the first one. Every time somebody does this, it does not mean that they're about to do the Philly shell. Okay? Because guess what? A lot of the guards look similar. Coach is going to show you how. All right? I didn't bring my gloves. Yes, I did. There's my gloves. I bought my gloves. Brought my gloves in so the family could see that this is real. Okay, one of my gloves is missing, but I got some training gloves in my bag. All right. So check this out, family. Let's thank you, Black Martial Arts Society. My brother knows what he's talking about. That good old cross-arm guard. What's that all about? Huh? What's the difference? A lot of people like to speak about Archie Moore, right? Let me stop lying. A lot of people don't speak about Archie Moore. They don't know what the hell they're talking about, to be honest with you. But Archie Moore used his shoulders and forearms with the cross-arm guard, which would make people believe or say, well, you know, he also used a little bit of the Philly shell. Well, let's talk about it for a second, family. And let's get to the science. Huh? Let's get to the science for a second. Okay. Now, if I'm in a high guard, right, and I'm deflecting your punches, I'm getting behind and I go here, right? I go here, right? In the middle of me going from high guard to low guard to cross arm or even switching here, right? Right? Catching the 1, the 2, the 3 here, then coming on top here, right? I'm here now. This looks like the Philly shell right here, especially if they hit me here and I come back and I keep fighting. It looks like I'm using the cross arm and the Philly shell. Not necessarily. When I'm using the cross arm guard, when I come over and I hit here, I'm now split. So just because I'm catching on my shoulders in here, like I'm in the Philly shell, I'm just transitioning from here to get out and go back here. This is what Archie Moore would do. I hope my brother Delano catches this live. Okay? Won't be doing this again. Salute my brother Mana Mansamusa. Big George Foreman used the cross arm too. Thank you. Now, watch this, family. If you notice, the way Archie Moore used the cross arm guard and the way George Foreman used the cross arm guard are completely different. They're completely different because Archie Moore is using his cross arm guard, but he is throwing, I'm talking about, he's catching and shooting and he's throwing combinations and coming back and he's moving with that cross arm. George Foreman was just closing the distance. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Right? So is it safe to say that two people can use the same guard, quote unquote, and it look different? Yes. Does Floyd Mayweather's Philly shell look different from James Toney's Philly shell? Yes, right? But James Toney, another taught by an old school coach, showing him how to make him hit and miss, showing him how to use his hands. Now, pay attention. Pay attention. Okay. Now, what George Benton realized, before I even get to George Benton, if you're in your stance, right? I'm in my stance. If I catch your jab, boom, parry your jab, boom, right? If I block with the long arm stances, where when you throw your one, I come here. You throw your two, I come here, right? Or when we're close in, like a Roberto Duran, this isn't a shell at all, but I'm in my guard, right? My head is in your chest, and I'm feeling your arms. Boom, I stop it there, right? Boom, I stop it there. Okay, I make room with my head. I got your arm here, and then I come up. Those were tricks of Roberto Duran. Has nothing to do with the Philly shell. And if you're teaching something and you don't know the difference, you shouldn't be teaching it. Amen. This is what Coach was talking about when I was talking about, we could never go into somebody else's school and tell them about their own art that was molded and shaped through their culture. We have to stop doing that. Now, this is what George Benton realized. This is the direct answer to the question that Delano had asked me. He said, well, why are people getting beat up trying to use the Philly shell? I'm going to show you why. All right, I'm going to show you why. Let me take my gloves off. And I'm going to show you all why George Benton is the master of it. Because there are a lot of people that like to use it, but they're using it at the wrong time. All right. So this is what George Benton realized. Before we even get to the feet, George Benton realized that if I catch, right, with this hand, or I parry it, or I block it with this hand, all right? So everybody, I'm in my stance. I'm split. Coach is standing orthodox right now. All right, my brother Delano, this is for you. Okay, y'all see Coach been eating. I've been eating. All right. So when they throw the one, I can catch it. When they throw the two, this is the Philly shell now. When they throw the two, I can roll it. When they throw the three, I can catch it. When they throw the four, I can catch it again. Right? When they throw the five, I can stay right here. Okay. When they throw that five, I can stay right here. I can bump it, or I can roll it back and catch it here with my elbow. All right. All right, 4, 5, 6, right? They're not hitting me with any cuts. I have totally neutralized all their 1 through 6 punches. What are you talking about, Coach? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those. Okay. Now, here's why it made George Benton the master. This is the difference. The reason why you see people like Teofimo Lopez try to use the Philly shell and get their ass beat is because the Philly shell was never meant for you to be squared when using it. So on top of that, it was not meant for southpaws to use. Why is that, Coach? All right, I'm orthodox. When I stand southpaw, if I'm southpaw and somebody's orthodox, what am I straight in the line for? Okay, if I roll my lead, every time I come back, I'm still lined up for their right hand, right? So when I roll, right, they can open me up with their jab and get me, right? It was not meant for the southpaw. It was meant for the orthodox fighter. But not just that. Here's the secret. Here's the secret. This is for my brother Delano. All right. I'm off in 5 minutes. Check this out, family. My brother Black Marshall said that's funny because I've never done Philly from southpaw. I've always done it from orthodox, and I'm mainly a southpaw fighter. Yep, southpaw it don't even feel right. That's why my brother Black Marshall Society said, shoot, naturally I know that's right because I've never done it because it don't feel right. Once you're in your southpaw and somebody's standing orthodox, you don't even feel right trying to roll from southpaw and then stand on orthodox. Now, if two southpaw fighters are fighting, uh, um, it is it's not common, but it is something that can happen. But that's rare as well. Now, watch this. George Benton realized that if he keeps his lead toe right in front of his opponent's lead toe, every single time he's going to be split. Every single time that person is going to have to get off of this line. And when they do, all I'm going to do is roll it. Come back. Roll it. Uppercut. This is why this man became the master. Now, there could be an argument, and maybe I'll do another live on this one weekend where I say, well, who was more influential with the Philly shell? I'm calling it first. Nobody do a live on this. If you do, you stole it. If they do it, family, they stole it from Coach. I'm going to do a live on Floyd Mayweather versus George Benton and who was more influential. And my stance is going to be, if Floyd Mayweather was more influential with the Philly shell, then what fighter has he produced on the likes of George Benton producing a Sweet Pea Pernell Whitaker? Family, I hope you learned something. I appreciate you all stopping by. I got to get the gym ready. Peace to the family. Peace to my comrades. And it's always smoke to the COINTELPRO Pro boxing fan. I told you all, family, I was only going to give you about 30 minutes. And I will see you all next time when I do that live. Peace to the family.